Okay, hello everyone. Today, June the 1st, it's the International Kids Day, so happy holiday everyone. It's the community meeting for Project Harbor. It's official CNCF meeting, so please follow the code of conduct for CNCF. What I'm sharing right now is the agenda for today. It's quite lean so far, and please, I've shared into the chat the link to this file. Please add yourself if you feel like it, and add your topics to the discussion topics list. With that, I know Vadim added a few of this, so do you want to take away?
Yeah. First off, I saw that this week there was the release 2.5.1, and I already saw the nice thing there that's immediately spring into my eyes, or is that was pleasant to see are the release notes. And I have to say that the release notes that we see in I mean, there was already 2.5 RC1, but in 2.5 we can see the release notes. Let me, yes, yeah, you can click, yeah, exactly. This is beautiful. This is really a progress. So there's like, without much effort, we can see, okay, what did change, what did improve since the last release, and it's really wonderful. So the only thing that I would like to change is this component updates, maybe the section here, the second one, which is called component updates, and it actually contains everything that enhancements. So I would, no, I think that it does not, it's, wait, it says, so the tickets in there have the tag in the component updates have, yeah, an update. Yeah, so I would maybe, yeah, write updates, but it's just a minor change here. Other than that, it's wonderful. So it's really low effort to get the release notes. I like it very much.
Yep, thank you everyone for supporting this effort. And Vadim, you mean we should tweak a little bit the labels for this stuff?
Well, just the title, and let's call it component updates, but I think it's not clear what this means, component updates. I would maybe just call it updates or changes, or, yeah, or improvements, or, yeah, because.
Okay.
And enhancements is I would maybe call enhancement like new features, because it's also aligns with the label. So the label is called
enhancement.
Enhancement. Okay, then we should keep it similar. Yeah, so let's keep it enhancements, and the updates. Yeah, but it's just minor details. It's nothing.
Yeah, these sections and the corresponding labels were initially proposed. So we have our first run, and if everyone like agrees that we can tweak it a bit, I'm super happy to address that. So yeah, that's actually the first try I think that we do this one. So
okay.
All right.
Yeah, I think that release notes look much better, right? And thanks for making this happen. Yeah.
Great.
Okay. So I think the next one is also on my agenda or on our agenda is the recap from the KubeCon. So Orlin and I, we have been at the KubeCon in Valencia. I think it's already 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Or 1 week, yeah. So it was really nice. A lot of people were coming by at the booth of Harbor. And a lot of discussions from people. People just came by and say just really hi, we're using Harbor, we really like it, it's a cool product. And there have been a few people as well, that popped by and started discussion with us. And so there have been quite of big user base of Harbor. So there are a lot of big companies who are using Harbor, and there are a few big companies mostly in Europe as well, because most of the people that were there were from Europe, and like governments from, I think, Belgium, Netherlands, I think in Germany, there is also an effort to build a harbor container registry for some governmental institutions. So there are quite a few big companies, adopting and using harbor. And from the discussion, I would say that stuck into my mind was on one hand the topic regarding the edge use case. I think this was there have been quite a few top people interested in this edge use case of harbor. There have been a few people that were interested in integrating or using harbor with other tools, with the CI/CD tools, with signing harbor, so like the Zig store, for example, and some similar solutions. So this is something that I had a few times, the discussion. Of course, there have been a few questions regarding some problems with the harbor. And so the other question that I've had also a few times was basically how to make harbor work in multi-environments. So this means like if you want to deploy to dev stage in prod, how can you separate this process, or how can you map this in the registry? And we had a few discussions with a few people around this topic. And so one proposal was to have multiple harbor instances, one for dev, one for int, one for prod. Other approaches, with the Zig store, with the signature validation on the cluster side. So there are quite a few discussions. There have been a few people using harbor in combination with GitOps, and there was a few problems there as well in the GitOps context, but I honestly cannot recall what type of problems people had there. So overall, it was, we had quite positive feedback, or received quite positive feedback from the folks who popped by and said hi. Yeah. So do we have something to add, Olin?
Yeah, my biggest takeaway was folks were, I'm not sure if you mentioned that, I was tagging another issue. In my conversations, folks were like, yeah, it's great, but can we have like a normal working APIs? So
this is, yeah.
So that was like the biggest issue for folks, that they want to automate so many things, and right now, due to the API is not fully functional, they have issues. And for some of them, even that was like a showstopper to adopt Harbor completely, and they had to switch to some other registries like Key, or even some public like a GitHub or whatever. So I think, yeah, that was like every second user that was chatting with me, and he was like, yeah, APIs. So
yeah, so I can confirm this. I had also a few discussion regarding API, and then the following topic is the permission sets. Like, how can we so the companies are starting using the APIs, and then the next question is, how can we restrict access to certain things? How can we do things with the API? For example, with the robot account. So there's like a lot of questions. Like, can we do this with the API? Is it possible to do things? So this was actually the follow-up question after the API. Like, how can we express certain workflows over the API? So something like project creation, project management, the pipeline things as well. Okay. Yeah. Okay. What else?
So yeah, I think that's very interesting and a lot of feedback. So I heard, Vadim, you have mentioned there is some people in the event to talk about the Harbor Edge, right? So is there any special use cases that describe that they need the Harbor Edge side?
Yeah, so I'm currently trying to set up a document where I have a few different ideas how there are the requirements on the edge side, and I wanted actually to reach out to you guys and see Is there already something in works of Harbor from the past that you have that you could share with me? So we could maybe take a look at this together, and I can build upon this, because otherwise I will start with a fresh paper. And I had a few discussions on KubeCon, and I have now a few follow-up discussions with a few people who need this use case. So basically, there are different use cases, and I'm trying to identify a common pattern that we can start with, and then allow us to expand in different areas. But I'm trying to understand what is like the minimal requirement to have this edge use case working.
Yeah, I think we originally have planned some investigation research in 2006, right? To identify the requirements to support the edge cases. So if there are any use case could come in from the community, I think it will be helpful to, for the Hub project to, to identify what is the common use cases to support edge. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think we can follow up this and offline to get something. Write down to discuss, right?
Okay. Yeah, I'll start a document so we can kind of contribute together there, kind of shared document. And I will also invite a few other people who have met at the KubeCon to participate in that.
Yeah.
By the way, Jolene, I think that topic circulates a bit already, and I think Alex Shu, when he was at the role of PM, he was saying that we have something. And can you get in touch with Roger? Maybe he can.
Yeah. Roger, I also tried to collect some requirements for edge from VMware side, right? VMware also have some use cases for Harbor to running in edge side. So we just want to see what is the other use cases for edge users for Harbor to support edge scenario from community, so we can to identify what is the common use cases that the community needed.
Okay, but as far as I can recall, Alex was sharing that we have something like as Vadim mentioned, something in the working, like almost ready proposal to be submitted.
Yeah, I think that may be a bit of difference. That back to years, I think. But anyway, we can see. Yeah, we can connect this again.
Yeah, and I have a chat tomorrow with Roger. I think it's tomorrow, so I'll try to bring that topic up and try some info out. Okay.
And Vadim, Alex here. If you need anything also from my side, like requirements or something else, just let me know, and we can also have an exchange, because here at Mercedes-Benz we also have a lot of customers which asking about the feature, and I think we have also a lot of requirements and API calls which we would like to see, or which our customers would like to have.
Okay, yeah, I'll loop you in then.
Okay, great, thank you.
Okay, Vadim, go ahead.
Okay, my next topic is regarding labels. And the question, how many labels can we have? And the thing is, I already started deleting a few labels. Mostly I deleted the labels that are that don't have nothing. So the labels that don't have an issue attached or something. So the completely unused labels. I've started deleting a few of them, because if you take a look at the labels, let me show this. I'll share this with you.
Yeah, actually, I'm showing the list of labels, which is.
Oh yeah, but you can expand this list, So if you, I think there's an extra, labels editor or something. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There are 278 labels.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's kind of really confusing to have so many labels, And now that we have these different areas, so I think I think we should delete all labels that don't have any
issues or yeah. And I think we can vote this right now to remove like all the labels that are not attached to anything.
Yeah.
Okay, so can we do like a formal voting over here? If you are pro deleting all labels, please raise your hand into the Zoom. Can we do that? I think we can. Or something right in the chat. Like yes.
You can we filter out the label without any issue attached? So
exactly.
we will know, yeah. How
yes,
many...
like for example, app ops, like this label is could be deleted, or
yep.
Every access logs, well,
that column in the middle shows
the issues it's used.
The number of issues or PRs which the label is attached to. So if you sort by, for example, was that most issues?
Is that issue number, I mean, include both closed issue and open issue?
No, I think it's just contains issues that are not attached to anything, because the closed issues are there.
Yeah. If you have an issue which has a label, it's there. So
yeah, can we click a label to say I mean filter the issue with this kind of label to say what it really looks like?
Can you repeat? I didn't get it.
I mean, if you filter the issue with a label, it will list all the issue, include the closed and the open issue, have this label, right?
Yes.
So can we use the label as an example?
So you mean, for example, this one? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, not the label with the issue. I mean, have a label. I mean, looks like there are many labels without the issue attached. I just to make sure that is really no issue attached to that label.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
you can select one. So
yeah,
for example,
I got you. Okay, so let's see, sort by fewest, and then just pick one.
Yeah,
like AppSops. I don't know, wherever.
Yeah, anyone. Okay.
There is one closed, however.
Yeah, you will see actually there are issue attached to that because it is closed, so you not show the number, right?
Mm-hmm.
But do you need the closed issues? Do you need the closed labels on the issues? Because that you see the issues.
Yeah, we need it. Yeah, we need it.
Yeah, I think we need it because we will filter some issue with the label.
Yeah, and we should carefully to remove. We should carefully to remove some labels from closed issues. If someone is searching closed issue to find out some solutions that we provided in the maybe in the past several years, and I agree that it is a theoretical problem for labels, but we should carefully remove any of them, because I believe any of this label is attaching to some closed issues, and they are available for user to filter closed issues to find out the root cause.
But what's the value of those labels? If they're sitting on the closed. I mean, I can understand that labels on current issues make sense, but on
I think Yan just make a point. It is useful for search some historical issue with a specific label to find out if there are any issue we have, have been fixed for some special problem, right? So if you use the label to search the issue, it will list out all the issues related to this label. For example, if this label is for, just like example, if this label is error replication, right? We search this label, it will list all the issues including opening issue and the closed issue. So we can easily to find out some historical issue was being fixed with some reason or some similar problem, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, that's true. We should be careful to use the label in future, I think.
Yeah, because like even if you want to search something by label, I think you will search quite long in those 278 labels to find the label that you really need, you know. Like
yeah, I agree. We use label too arbitrary. So, but if we want to remove some of them, so we have to do it one by one, and maybe we can remove some of them and reverse some of them. But we should carefully to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Also, there are a lot of labels related to a specific release, right? A target and with a release number. So all the issue will be closed. So it will be showing as a 0 number if you view the label in this page. But that is useful, right? We will know in which release we have include what kind of issue fix and what epic and what feature we done, right?
Yeah, okay. In the future, you will see it in the release notes, right? So in the what?
Yeah, but that is not easy for search to find something.
Okay, I understand. Okay. Okay, good.
This for now, or
we can leave it then for now if there is.
Okay.
The next question or the next topic is also for my side, but maybe we can, yeah, we can do the pull request and then we can do the CNHub thing. So if we take a look at the current Harbor project and the pull requests, so there is, I think, like 45 pull requests open, and so yeah, 45 now. And there are a lot of pull requests there. Yeah, they're stale, but they would make sense to get them merged. And my question is, how can we improve our merge request approval rate or increase it so that we can approve more pull requests? Or what would help to increase the pull requests so that they're not becoming stale and people get that provide pull requests get their pull request accepted or denied fast? And so what would help to get this working? Because this is like the stale pull requests are, you know, quite a few years old already, but there are still a few pull requests that are open since a month that are continuously unstaled. So my question is, how can we improve this situation here, that we either accept or deny pull requests? So what would help to improve the rate? So maybe a test environment or something, I don't know, something that would improve the process. What do you think? What could it be?
Can I share my thoughts on this one?
Sure.
Now, for the last month, I think when someone creates a new pull request, the maintainers list group is assigned as a reviewer, and that was my first effort to actually accomplish what you just described with him, to bring the attention of all maintainers to the PRs. So I think if that doesn't work, so I'm not sure, and I'm going to ask everyone, are you receiving those notifications properly? And do you pay attention on them? And if you don't, why? And how we can fix that? Because the idea of code owners and automatic assignments of reviewers is exactly this one. When someone files a PR, you folks, like 11 or 12 people, to get notified, and you can practically review that in some like timely manner. And I can see a trend that doesn't happen. So to reiterate Vadim's question, how we can, from maintainers' point of view, how we can improve that? Do you need someone to explicitly add you as a reviewer, or what, or to do like a scheduled like a PR review meeting every week or something? It's an open question for everyone, because I can give example for the community repo and the website repo that works. And when we get a new PR, me or Abigail, we get notified. So actually both of us, and we just review that. So but yeah, maybe the volume of PRs is not that big there. So is there a way how I, as a community manager, can help out with this one to facilitate, for example, once a week a PR review meeting? Or can we do it like during our regular meetings every 2 weeks, which is a long period, but still it's a good start?
Yeah, I think the team, I mean, have a regular meeting, weekly meeting to review the newly opened pull request in the past week. So team will review those PRs and assign some maintainer or owner to follow up that. So that is kind of the process that VMware folks follow, right? So of course there are many old pull requests here. I think maybe most of them is due to the PR creator do not respond. So that should be some PR is this case. I mean,
you mean there's a PR, someone from the maintainers team. Let's not focus only on the VMware folks, but in general for all maintainers in the team, reviews that, and then the creator is not responding to the commands. Is that what you're saying? Or I didn't get it.
Yeah, two things. One sense is the VMware maintainer folks have regular meeting, weekly meeting to review the newly opened PR in the past week, right? Mm-hmm. And also we'll assign some owner to review that or follow up that. So that is the first. I mean, this is the process that we are running. And the second one is, I mean, there are many very old pull requests not get closed. I think some of them maybe is due to the PR creator do not respond. So, for example, if the reviewer asks for some changes or leave some comments, the PR creator did not get that addressed. So that PR is left here.
All right, two things here from community management standpoint. Those meetings that you're mentioning, they should be open. And I think if we can make it during this meeting, or we can set up another one, so everyone from the community can participate on. By community, I mean, in this case, the maintainers team, not only VMware folks, but to include everyone that it's in the maintainers. And second thing is, if one of the maintainers is assigned as a reviewer, as an owner from our side, he or she must be responsible to pursue the creator to give feedback on the commands. So for example, okay, I opened just a random one. In this case, I think in some time frame, Vadim should respond back, hey, can you update this and that? I've commented you and something. Or we can do that some other way to have some rotation from the team to ask for commands back. I mean, it's our job to ask the PR creators to respond. We cannot wait on their will. Just okay, I've created something, I'm gonna respond back. We should encourage them by actively pursue them to respond back, especially if it's a good one and we want to be merged, but there's minor fixes now and there. What do you think? Just throwing ideas out.
I'm not sure whether there is a best practice for PR reviews in the whole CNCF community, but for me, 45 is not a big number for a graduate project. If you see the premises, there are more than 200 PRs, open PRs, and some of them are open for more than 5 or 6 years. And we do we will, as a maintainer, we will do the interaction and add our comments to the PRs from the community. But for me, if I see some PRs maybe should not reasonable, I just let the PR open, and maybe someone from the community see that PR and they can add some comments. That's my comment on this.
Mm-hmm.
So you say, if you think that the PR is not good enough, we should not comment back, or I didn't get it?
For me, I will not close that one, because that was opened by the other, and if I close that PR, which I think is not good enough for us, but I think it's not a best practice. I just let the PR open, and then maybe someone from a community can add their opinion to that PR. But for me, that PR is not good for us, and it's not, maybe it's not reasonable, it's not valuable, but I will not close that one.
But we should I think it makes sense that the PR is not good. However, we should comment this and say, look, this PR does not is not sufficient enough to improving the quality, or this PR is there should be a reason why it is not accepted, because maybe it's not a strategy, or it's I mean, for whatever reason, but it should be transparently communicated back to the contributor, because the person spent days and weeks maybe to create this PR, so they're expecting something, in the sense that their contribution is valued and accepted into Harbor. And I think we should communicate that and see, like, I mean, why we are not accepting PRs. I think there needs to be a reason why we're not accepting a PR, because does not fit the strategy of the project. So it does not fit the overall strategy and goal of the project. So if someone wants to, I don't know, store NPM packages in there, maybe it's not the right thing to do in Harbor. And Harbor only focuses on OCI images and not on other package formats, artifact formats. So we should clearly communicate this in such a PR. But if it's an improvement, if it's a bug fix of something, I think there is no reason not to accept the PR. There is a reason to communicate to the user and say, look, it does not qualify because the quality isn't good or whatever. But if someone is improving the Harbor then we should, not ignoring it, or at least give feedback to the user and say what he has to do in order to get accepted.
I cannot agree more on this one. I cannot agree more on what you're saying.
Yeah, I agree with you. If we see the open PRs one by one, some of them are already approved by the maintainers, but there are no further action from the others. They do not rebase their code, segment this code to make the CI pass, things like that. And for we do accept PRs from a community, and we do review the PRs from community, from a community. From the maintainer group. But I'm not. I don't clear about the PR's strategy that we are talking about. Are we targeting to down to some numbers? For the open PRs, or we want to have maybe a cycle for PRs, like if one PR is open for more than half a year, we should close it, and we should discuss some interaction with others. So what do we want to improve on the PR strategy?
So I think one idea of improvement would be to provide feedback to the contributors, so that there's a lot of, we have a lot of new contributors there who are doing the first PR, and if we don't respond, it's going to be the last PR, And I think from the community, we should, embrace them and welcome them, so that it's not going to be their only PR, so that they're going to provide more PRs and use the product. So, because most of the companies or people who are using Harbor, they find issues and problems there, and then eventually it becomes so big that they provide a PR for that, and we should not stop them from doing so and should accept it. So my goal is that and if I look at the PR list that we have, there are, I would say, 80% of the PRs there are bug fixes, And from my perspective, there is no reason to not accept them. If they qualify and pass the criteria. But yeah, so there is, from my perspective, there is a lot of PRs that are actually bug fixes, and we are not accepting them.
And just to clarify something, the criteria of accepting PR is kind of vague, right? Because it's not well defined what's a good PR, how the PR should look like, and the quality of the code and the quality of the contribution. It's a bit vague and not strictly defined, right? So if we find an issue, understanding that concept, I think that's why we're a community and why we need a few reviewers, right? So if someone is not sure if that's good or not, just ping some of the other maintainers and ask for help to double check that. And yeah, as Vadim said, when I contribute to other projects, not Harbor, but like the ones that are not, I'm not attached in this way, that means I've hit an issue and I spent some hours to fix that thing on my side, and then I decided to contribute it. And I'll expect someone to at least say, yeah, that's not good, or we fixed it, or someone to say something. So to answer the question, what is the strategy? The strategy is to be more welcoming in terms of when someone opens a PR, to be good citizens and comment, and to help out that PR to be merged. If, of course, it's, again, applying all the rules for strategy for the project, and if it's not fixed in some or plan to fix in the future release or something like that. Sorry, Jan, you wanted to say something, but I think I interrupted you very badly. Sorry for that.
No, I just went through all the PRs. We respond almost all of them, and for the PRs to fix bugs, I think some of them are not bugs, and it's not reasonable to accept the PR. So we respond to the author, but they do not have any further interaction with us. And yeah, I agree with you. We cannot make everyone happy, but we can try our best to make most of them happy, I think. And yeah, I maybe try my best to review PRs from the community and do, yeah.
The idea is not to accept everything. The idea is to provide feedback to everything. So once someone creates a PR and tries to contribute, to feel welcome and to contribute again, so we can have that constant cycle of contributors coming back. Because let's be honest, contributing to open source projects with code can be super scary by a few reasons. And for example, is you're not always sure your code is good enough and it will be liked into the project. So we have to be super, how to say, welcoming and get folks into the speed with the project. So if you like, I can try to get a from other projects, like how their process looks like and what are the responsibilities of the maintainers in terms of PR reviewing, and we can formalize that if you want. I can do that. I've seen projects well-defined PR review process and what to look for, how to behave, in what time frame to behave, and stuff like this. If you think that will be helpful for the maintainers, I can do that. But I'm not sure if we need that formalization of the process. That's the thing. But if it's useful for many of the folks, I can add that.
So I'm okay with that. To be honest, I'm the maintainer of another project, and we actually do not have any PR process for from a community, and we just see the PRs we can discuss offline and do some review on our free time. And yeah. But if someone has some formal process for PRs, and yeah, I'm okay with that. They can share something with us.
Okay. And do we want to have and every week an hour to discuss the PRs and to follow up on everything? Or because don't get me wrong, I'm wearing it's on this side, my VMware shirt, but still this process to be encapsulated into VMware is not the best practice. So I think everyone can benefit from having like a common meeting with all the maintainers and to do a PR review for everything open, or at least like the hot topics right now. Or we can do it.
I have one just comments, right? I think many times review the PR is time consuming, I think. So
sure
maybe, yeah, I think async maybe is the best way to review this PR. But if so, for some of the PR, if need the maintainer to discuss or even need involved also to discuss, I think for those kind of PR, maybe to have maintainer discuss together is efficiently. But for most of others, I think the async maybe is better.
Okay, then how you see the async triaging of the PRs?
Yeah, leave the comments on the PR. and discuss in that PR, and also everyone can view that, right? It is visible.
This should be like this. I mean, the comments should be in the PR. So like to the PR requester, there should be comments. And if we do it like you're doing it now every week, we should have after a few weeks we should not have PRs without comments or feedback to the person that does provide a PR or did provide a PR.
So, can we sort it like without the commands? So we have, I think. Okay, there's one without a command, but okay. Okay, shall we give it a try, like a week or two? Try to communicate more into the dev channel about PRs. I can take some role in this one, but it's part of the maintainer's tasks to do this triaging and to watch the list and to comment. And can we accept it like is a general rule? New PR, no comments, I'm gonna comment, or I'm gonna tag someone who understands that area of the code that can comment, or something like that. So we can drive that topic to be more welcoming to the folks, and they can see that actually someone is looking at their stuff, and their effort and their time spent is not like wasted. And yeah, because if we take 2 weeks to write a command, it's highly possible that the creator of the PR won't come back and fix whatever we asked them to fix.
Yeah.
So if we do that review in 1-2 days, they'll be super pumped and they'll come back and fix whatever we wanted. But if that takes like 2 weeks, yeah, screw that. I won't fix that. Obviously, nobody gives a shit, I'm sorry, my language, about what I've done. So
yeah,
that's my take, and I've seen that in other projects as well. So that's how people work. Yeah, if you're not getting response shortly, the chances of coming back is super low. So let's agree on, because you are all assigned through the maintainers on every new PR created. So everyone is getting notification in their email. So please take a look, and if you can respond and spend some time of your day, I would suggest everyone, if everyone can add like a 30 minutes of your day into your calendar to do PR triaging on your own time, like prior lunch or something, that will help a lot. I have that in my calendar. Every day I have 30 minutes to go through all the PRs into the community and the website repo and some other repos, and to check if I have to comment something and not to rely on mail notifications. And that, by the way, it's a good practice for every recurring job anyway, right? So, and I've seen that in some of the governance docs, that maintainers are, by accepting the maintainer role, they should do that. It's part of their role. That's it. So the governance suggests that you have that spare time every day, 30 minutes, not more, maybe 15, to review PRs and to make sure that we drive all the topics.
Mm.
What do you think?
Yeah.
I don't want to force you to do stuff. I'm just suggesting good practices that I've seen in other projects and I apply in my work. No. Hopefully quiet.
Yeah, so I mean, I definitely agree. We should work more with PR because this is how we get people contributing to Harbor and how this project can continue to grow.
Yep. Okay, I'll take a note on my side that I'm going to take a look at improvements in the governance. So people, if they get lost, they can refer back to the governance and get ideas what to do. Okay, we have 5 more minutes, so let's get with the other stuff with him.
Yeah, so the other point I would like to, it's related a bit to maybe to PRs as well. It's the topic of the Zen Hub. So the CNCF has the Zen Hub subscription, and I saw that Zen Hub is already used in Harbor or was used in the past. And my question is, should we use it or prefer it in comparison to projects? So because right now there is the project management is completely not part of the CNCF, and this is not actually compliant with the CNCF rules, that it's not part of the CNCF. So it should be somehow transparently part of the CNCF, the project stuff. And the options that we have here is the projects within GitHub, which is a possible solution, or we can continue using ZenHub, which was also used, I think, in the past. And the question is, what happened with the ZenHub? Why is it not used anymore? And why there are projects that are not used anymore? So how do we track the progress of the project? Or how is it tracked currently in the CNCF scope and not within VMware?
I can partially answer this one.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure about the ZenHub, but I think Roger right now works on how to put this one. VMware took the role of project management, not to be like a VMware specific. There are some specifics for VMware, of course, but in general, Roger is the PM assigned from VMware to be a PM to the project and representing the community and the CNCF interests. So I think that question is why isn't Hub, why not anymore? I think Roger can answer that in details. But I think we have on the projects and the roadmap, I think they're on the projects, isn't it? Or I'm wrong. So
but it did not get updated. I think Roger is working on this.
Yep. So I'm not sure. Maybe I'm not answering Vadim's question, but there were some issues in the past which were more VMware rented, and I think right now Roger is more concentrated on bringing the gap between the CNCF interests and the project interests and VMware, so to be less VMware-ish. So if you have some questions about project management, I think he's the right person to answer them. Of course, if someone from the VMware China team can answer them right now, but I think that's the overall status right now. So that's how it should be done.
Okay, so the ZenHub is not an option anymore, and because I saw it was there in the past, that's why.
To be honest, I don't know, but and why the project management decided not to go with ZenHub anymore, I don't know. Maybe Alex can answer that.
We use the ZenHub to organize the IPAC. I mean the issue IPAC to organize all the engineering tasks. So if you click on the ZenHub, you can see all the IPAC that associate with some anchor features.
Yeah, I see stuff in ZenHub still, the old one. Yeah. 4 years ago it was used.
Mm-hmm. And Vadim, you believe ZenHub is better from the projects, or?
I don't know. I'm just trying to find a way how we can organize and streamline this. So if we can live with GitHub's project functionality, let it be this way. I mean, it's a gradual progress. So if GitHub is enough, let's stick to GitHub, and if it's not enough, we can update to ZenHub. I mean, ZenHub looks more complicated, but I'm not sure if it's really needed. You know, we should really start slow if you want to embrace this tracking.
Do you want me to set up a chat with Roger about that?
Will be interesting, yeah, to see what's his opinion about this.
Yeah. Anyone else interested in this topic? I can, because I'm super interested in this topic as well, and how we can improve it overall, and to be less VMware dependent and more community oriented in general. Okay, so it's me and Vadim then. Okay. Okay, Vadim, next one.
Oh, the last one. Yeah, the pull request review. I think I have a few pull requests that I think we could approve quickly, because it's like typos and bug fix. Not typos, bug fix is mostly typos, like in Swagger, and a few things that we should take a look at. And I would like I will post it in the Slack channel so that everyone can take a look at those, because it would take too long. And then that's it from my side, my points. There is like deprecation policy for Harbor that we should discuss as next.
Yeah, that's something that it's circulating for a while. And just to, let's do it async, because we're on the hour, actually 1 minute after the hour. That thing came out from uninformed decision to announce the notary deprecation, and came out we don't have an actual working policy, deprecation policy and process for deprecating features. So if everyone can take a look at this one and give ideas what we can do there, would be great, because we need a policy. For example, in like 2 releases, we're gonna do this, and we have to announce this and that. And it's not only procedural, but also technical process, how we can deprecate something, whatever it is, documentation to functionality. So please take a look. It's a request for everyone. I'm gonna paste it in the chat if I can find the chat. Okay. So with that, thank you everyone. It was very informative meeting today. I hope we have some takeaways. And hey, Vadim, nice shirt. Where you get it?
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Just to share, we give it away around 100 Harbor t-shirts, or 150. I have to check the numbers, but they were like one huge box, and we give away around 50 utility keys and around 300 stickers. So I think we did a good job with the swag, and people were like super happy with the swag. And one last thing, I'm sorry. KubeCon CFP closes in 2 days. Anyone planning? I know Vadim is planning to submit something.
Yes, I'm planning to submit something.
Okay. Anyone else planning to submit something?
We have two CFPs, and we will submit them maybe tomorrow.
The maintainers track, right?
No. We just have some ideas about Harbor, around Harbor.
Okay.
Do you need some help with this one?
We did some internal review with Anna.
Can you? Okay.
So far so good.
Okay, great. Yeah. By the way, can you add that to the status updates over here so we can keep track on this one? We have 2 more days, so I won't submit anything for Harbor. I had to submit other stuff. So, but if you need my help and my assistance with this one, I think we can do again the kiosk, and this time we should not miss the chance to be on the keynote project update. So everyone keep an eye on this mail. It's an email from events at CNCF, and they ask the maintainers if we want to be on the project updates panel on the keynotes on the last day. And I think that was a huge miss for us that we were not there with 2.5 release, because there were other projects with super minor releases and changes compared to what we did in 2.5. So I think for the North American one, we can be there, and that will be super helpful for the project and for the community as well.
And also, who's going to be in person there? Should we have a maintainers track in person as well in Detroit?
The maintainers track CFPs are filed in a bit later. They're not processed. They're not part of the like the regular CFPs. So that actually depends on the team who can and who wants to travel to Detroit. I'll do my best to travel so I can be there in person for many stuff, like even the Harbor kiosk again. So if we can get as much as possible maintainers on site, will be great.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yep. Do you folks from China? It's a regional question for China. Are you okay with traveling for end of the year for Detroit?
I don't know. Maybe it depends on the government's rules. I think.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
I don't know. I think it depends on the government rules.
You mean
cross-region travel? Yeah.
But okay. Yeah. Obviously, right now it's more regional regulations than VMware regulations, because if you are right now, I'll talk about VMware a bit. If you're a speaker, you're allowed to travel. But then if your country doesn't allow, or the receiving country doesn't allow you to get in, that's another round of problems. But I'm just asking in general, are you willing to travel, and are you okay to dealing with travels to US at that point? But okay, maybe it's too early for the maintainers to discuss that. So please, if you can, drop the topics for your talks, so we can keep an eye on this one, and we know how that will proceed.
Sure, will do.
Okay, thank you everyone. Thank
you everyone.
Nice meeting today, and see you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye everyone.
Bye.